Thank you for joining us. In our series featuring outstanding people and destinations, today we're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the world-famous resort city known for its spectacular beaches, cruise ships, hotels, and so much more. It's the boating capital of the USA, with endless canals, luxury homes and nightlife, and entertainment, fine dining, with visitors from all over the world. And our interview today is with Dean Trantalis, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who will tell us more about this amazing city following these messages.
When I was young, it seemed that life was so wonderful, a miracle. Oh, it was beautiful, magical.
And then they showed me a world where I could be so dependable. Oh, intellectual, cynical.
Find magic again. Sprout by HP. With Intel RealSense technology inside, now you can bend the rules of creativity outside.
Life Extension magazine brings you new discoveries in health and anti-aging. Our science-based research and supplements are so advanced they're many years ahead of the medical mainstream, with quality control standards that exceed FDA mandates. Life Extension has covered groundbreaking medical research for more than 35 years. For your health and future, you deserve the best. Learn more at lifeextension.com.
With us now is Mayor Dean Trantalis. A real pleasure and privilege to meet you, sir.
Good morning. Shalom.
Thank you, sir. I actually had the privilege of interviewing some of your predecessors here in Fort Lauderdale. And why did I come here of all places? Because I saw this movie, Where the Boys Are, with a beautiful song by Connie Francis, and it inspired me that if I go to the States, I really have to go to Fort Lauderdale.
Well, that movie came out over 50 years ago, so it's taken you a while to catch up. But welcome to our city, and I'm happy you're here, and I think one of the reasons why you're here is because we are definitely a vibrant, exciting city these days.
Absolutely. And spring break and all of that. Has that changed a lot since the days?
Well, we're still a place where people love to come and to visit, to enjoy our environment. Most of the people that come here today are people that are here to stay, with build families, careers. We are a destination for people from all over the world, and we're excited to provide hospitality for everyone, you know, who comes to our shores. But the reality is that spring break was a catalyst for trying to show interest in South Florida, not just Fort Lauderdale, but all the South Florida cities. And Fort Lauderdale certainly benefited from that. And over the years, the idea of what spring break meant continues to change. Today we see many, many kids from colleges coming during the springtime, but we also see a lot of families and young people coming throughout the year. In fact, many of those young people are here to stay, and much of the new growth that you see in our city, especially in our downtown core, are filled with young people wanting to build their careers and start a family and still enjoy the wonderful lifestyle that we have here.
I personally have experienced it. I've lived on Coconut Isle and on 46th Street overlooking the Intracoastal in both places, and it's a lovely city, wonderful really. Tell us about commerce and what is the magnet that brings so much more in tourism to this city?
Well, Fort Lauderdale is pretty much based on a tourist economy, and while tourism also brings in the marine industry, we're the yachting capital of the world, and we embrace the marine industry for many, many jobs and commerce that it brings to our community. We also have a very robust real estate industry, and our financial services industries are also very, very active. But as the years go on, we realize that in order to maintain a sustainable economy, we need to diversify. So we have reached out and have drawn upon our resources and are attracting a huge tech segment here in our community. We have some major players, worldwide players, that have found Fort Lauderdale to be a great place to locate their headquarters or their regional headquarters, so that what that has done is brought people with wonderful talents and wonderful skills and wonderful outlooks to make Fort Lauderdale their home. And it's very exciting. We have many new industries moving into the Fort Lauderdale area because, let's face it, we're a global economy, and if you had a choice to live, whether it would be in the tundra of the north or the paradise of the south, you're going to pick Fort Lauderdale.
Very interesting, and of course, tourism, whether it is a base for major cruise lines, such as Carnival and other.
Well, Fort Lauderdale is one of the largest cruise ports in the world, and it's also the largest cargo port in the entire United States. So we have a very robust industry when it comes to the use of our port, Port Everglades. We're in the process of deepening that port to allow the super tankers that are coming through the Panama Canal now to be able to dock here in our port here locally. So we are keeping up with the times. We are definitely a robust economy, and the idea now is to diversify. And diversity doesn't just mean the economy, it also means the type of people we embrace. Fort Lauderdale and Broward County, we consider ourselves one of the most diverse communities in the entire nation. Multiple languages are spoken in our school systems, in our homes. People from all over the world, different cultures, different ways of life is something that we attract here in Fort Lauderdale. So there's no person that's not welcome here, and we're very happy about that.
And I understand that this city also develops relationships with cities abroad and countries abroad. You were recently actually in Israel. Tell us about
We
that.
were in Israel. Fort Lauderdale has a very active Sister Cities program. Since I've been mayor, and actually during the time I was a city commissioner, I reached out to our Sister City program, and I said, let's start visiting some of these cities. Let's start re-engaging our relationships with the cities that we have already. And because we've had sister city relationships going back, many years. And so recently I've been to Colombia, in our sister city Medellin. I've been to our sister city Venice. I've been to Mughla in Turkey. I've been to, and as you say, most recently we've been to Israel. And our sister city there is Haifa. And this past year in June, we were able to visit the folks there, as well as tour a lot of Israel. It wasn't my first time there, but those that came on the trade mission were able to see who our partners were, who our trading partners were, because a lot of people from Israel are investing in Fort Lauderdale, especially in real estate. So we thought it was important to see who are the people that are doing the business in our city, not just the front people, but also the people who are providing financing and technical aspects. We met with a number of people who talk about startups in the tech industries and incubation, and trying to teach us on how to create ecosystems that invite and sustain these type of startup companies in the tech business. So we learned a lot. We started building new relationships, and we're very excited about the prospects that might result as a result of that trip.
So as the new mayor of Fort Lauderdale, what are your plans? What innovations are you going to bring?
Well, the exciting part about being mayor is the ability to reach out to all levels of our community, people in organizations, nonprofits, for-profits, other governments, other countries around the world who look to the mayor of a city to begin dialogues. And one of the nice things about being mayor this time around is I feel that there were many opportunities now that we've had to try to create family-friendly events and family-friendly activities that encourage people to want to move to Fort Lauderdale, not just as a young single person, but to be able to think about building a life and building a career here. So some of the things that I feel are important are, for example, sporting activities. We just concluded a deal with the Inter Miami Beckham organization in which we agreed that they were going to build an 18,000 seat stadium here in Fort Lauderdale, which is currently under construction, and they're going to have their first major soccer league team competition here in Fort Lauderdale on May 15th of next year. So it's an exciting time, but more importantly than just creating a venue for spectator sports, they're also going to have their academy in which to bring in young people to learn the sport of soccer, and to also provide a venue for local high schools to have soccer competitions as well as football games, places where some high schools don't even have their own football fields. So it's an exciting time for us because it brings more and more families to see Fort Lauderdale as a place for that kind of sporting activity. In addition, this commission approved the rehabilitation and the rebuilding of our internationally known aquatic center. This has been a long time coming, and this commission finally committed to the rehabilitation and the rebuilding of that center. We're also going to be the only place in the entire Western Hemisphere to have a 27-meter diving platform that's permanently affixed to our facility. Again, bringing international interest in our area. But having said that, it's also going to provide a swimming facility for local folks who want to have a place to go swimming, who don't have their own pool, or who want to have more competition-style opportunities that they don't have in their backyard. We're also working a deal with the Panther organization, our local hockey team. They've been really generous in working a deal with us to take over an old armory that we have, the War Memorial Auditorium. And what they're doing there is they're going to repurpose it for a sporting venue, as well as to build 2 ice skating rinks to the property itself, some for training for their own team, and another one for the public to use. So that now we'll be able to offer ice skating for the young kids and adults who wish to be able to take advantage of that opportunity, which before they couldn't. So these are the types of things that we're looking to do. And just this morning, I met with some gold medalists in volleyball who want to bring volleyball, but not just recreational volleyball, but competitive volleyball to Fort Lauderdale. They're looking for a venue. And you know, our ears are open. We love to hear things like that, where people see Fort Lauderdale as a place where we can bring both spectator competition as well as family-oriented abilities to take advantage of these facilities, so that Fort Lauderdale becomes a very user-friendly place where people can feel comfortable about coming here, enjoying the lifestyle, and realizing the full benefits of the paradise that we provide.
Well, I certainly love this city, and Mr. Mayor, I'd like us to continue, but we have to pause for these commercial messages. We'll be right back. We're back with Mayor Trantalis. Sir, I'd like to ask you a little bit about arts and culture in this city, the Performing Arts Theatre and other, so many opportunities for local people and other to come right here and see world-class.
We are bursting with arts and culture in Fort Lauderdale. And the wonderful thing is it's easy access to anybody. We have free opportunities for people to come and visit our wonderful museums. Bonnie Clearwater heads up our art museum, which has been amazing in bringing out spectacular events, blockbuster exhibits that are known throughout the world. We have a wonderful science museum headed up by the new CEO, Joe Cox. Wonderful talent there, bringing in new exhibits and making them so much more relevant than what we've provided in the past. And of course, our Performing Arts Center, which is headed up by Kelly Shanley, who takes care of not just the main Broward Center, but also Parker Playhouse and other venues we have for theater. In fact, we're spending almost $25 million rehabilitating Parker Playhouse, which has been a mainstay of the city for so many years. But together, this community has come, and we're rebuilding and creating new foundations and new hope for those who are just starting out in theater and those that travel through their theater groups throughout the country and bringing spectacular shows. For example, the Broward Center, and first time in Florida, was where Hamilton found itself. And we were very proud that we were able to bring that to South Florida, especially to our community. So there's so much to see, so much to do. We have organizations such as ArtServe, which provides a place where folks who are just starting out need a place to show their art. And it have wonderful community events. We encourage people from all levels of the artistic trade to come to Fort Lauderdale and apply their wares, and we have definitely an appreciative audience here.
And the boat parade.
And the boat parade, a singular, spectacular event unique to Fort Lauderdale. It will be coming up in a couple of weeks, and it is a show above all other shows. It started out, I remember, a number of years ago with just a few boats, and now it's a holiday spectacle. People dress up huge yachts in beautiful holiday lighting and colors. And everyone along the river route, the parade route, there are parties everywhere. It's hundreds of thousands of people participate in this. It's all free, and it's a wonderful way to signal in the holiday spirit.
Changing topics for a moment to quality of life and health, many people find South Florida to be a healthier place to live. And I know that you have a lot of medical research going on in world-class hospitals and so forth. In fact, if I may say so, our main sponsor is an innovator in the area of research against the diseases of aging. In fact, Bill Faloon, based right here.
Really?
In Fort
They better
Lauderdale.
sign me up for...
We all need to be signed up.
Yeah.
Bill Faloon asked me to give you this. Life Extension publishes a magazine and markets products and supplements and are in the forefront of research.
So I see you handed me a book, Pharmacracy 2, How Corrupt Deals and Misguided Regulations Are Bankrupting America. Certainly probably an interesting read, so thank you, I appreciate it. A lot of talk about the cost of medicines and how it's driving up the cost of medical care in our community. We're very much aware of that. We have a large senior population here. And it's not just seniors that benefit from the medications. People of all ages, find themselves at the drugstores. It's no mystery why there are drugstores at almost every corner in our communities these days. It's not because they like to build stores, it's because they're reaching out to their marketplace. And so certainly medications are a big business in America, and we have to be very careful about how people are charged for their medications. I know the arguments on both sides, but the reality is there has to come a point in time where we have to accept the fact that we cannot continue to afford the type of practice that we are currently suffering under. And I think it's one of those things that's certainly out of the range of being mayor, but we can certainly be a voice in the dialogue that we need to participate in.
Maintaining one's health and prevention, of course, would be essential. And back to other topics again, if I may. What attracts the average tourist to Fort Lauderdale, whether it is getting on a cruise ship or just hanging out on the beach?
All of that and more. A lot of people do come here for the cruise ship, and they usually stay a day or two on either side of their stay, and we have so much to see when just being here. The Everglades, certainly a unique natural environment that we offer, but just being able to hang out on our beaches. We have wonderful restaurants, 4- and 5-star restaurants, excellent eating opportunities. We have wonderful shopping opportunities, and just to meet the people here in Fort Lauderdale, just hanging out in stores and being able to be greeted by the friendliness that we offer here. It's a piece of paradise that's unavailable anywhere else in the country, and we're very proud of it.
Many people in our audience would like to know how you, Mr. Mayor, got into politics. How did you end up as mayor of Fort Lauderdale? Well,
I ended up as mayor because the people chose me, but let's go back and see how I got involved in politics to begin with. My early entry into the political field here in South Florida started in the early 90s when I got involved in the equal rights movement here in the area. As a member of the LGBT community, we were seeking equal rights at the county level, and I became very active in helping to promote and co-write the ordinances that we were able to enact in 1995 as well as in 1999 when we were able to get past a domestic partnership ordinance here in the county. Thereafter, in 2002, I made the decision to run for a city commission here in Fort Lauderdale, and I was elected, and I was the first openly gay elected official at that time in the city. And since that time, I've been very active and involved. I've served on the commission about 8 years, and now that I've been mayor, it's almost 2 years of that. And we're very proud to have a community. I'm very happy to represent a community that is, first of all, embraces diversity, and number two, understands how diversity is important to the integration of people in a community, and how different talents can be brought to bear by understanding how everybody's welcome. So when I was elected, it wasn't because of my sexual orientation, it was because of the issues and my positions on issues, and my trying to listen to the people and understanding what's important to the people. And that message is what I think resonated throughout the community, putting everything else aside, and I think the folks of this community made the right choice.
Speaking of messages, as we conclude this interview, what final message would you like to share with our audience?
I think the final message I'd like to share is one that Fort Lauderdale is a place that I think has been often overlooked by people who come to establish their business headquarters and their family visits. When they come to Fort Lauderdale, they say to themselves, oh my God, this is the best kept secret in America. Fort Lauderdale provides reasonable housing, it provides great economic opportunities. It's a place where you can start a family and build a career. And I think that when people come here, it's the city you never want to leave. And we're finding that again and again.
Absolutely. Mr. Mayor, it's a real privilege and pleasure to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back. With us now are Travis and Ryan of Jetride. A real pleasure to be with you today.
Great to be with you too.
Thanks for having us.
A real pleasure. You know, I was thinking about the concept of Jetride. What an amazing idea it is in general. You're like psychiatrists in a way, because people who own boats, some people say the happiest day was when they bought it and when they sold it. But they have so many hassles with them often. But with you guys, with your wonderful company, your concept, people can just come, be a member, take the boat out, not worry about it. It's a phenomenal idea. Tell us more about it.
So yeah, they get to walk up to the boat, unlock it with their phone, go out for as long as they want, and walk away. It's pretty awesome because, you know, we get them on the water for like 10 times cheaper than normal boat ownership.
What would you add to that?
Yeah, you know, anybody who's owned a boat previously or is thinking about purchasing a boat, you know, there's a lot of work and hassles that come along with owning a boat. We're just trying to make it as easy and convenient as we can to try and get as many people on the water enjoying this lifestyle in the beautiful areas that we live in.
When I said psychiatrists, I meant actually the peace of mind for recreation and everything else that you guys offer is just wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, we try to take away the hassles. You know, the hassles of boating, you have major depreciation, you got to pay taxes, trailering the boats. So our people just get to walk up. They don't have to even fuel the boats after they're done. They walk away, we put the fuel in and discharge them for the fuel at a later date.
This is most interesting, and I'd like to ask you, Ryan, how did this idea originate? Tell us more.
So 3 years ago, we set out with the goal in mind to get as many people on the water safely, responsibly, you know, and make it as convenient for them as possible. So we didn't come up with this idea, but we just decided to try and improve on some of the other boat clubs, jet ski clubs that are out there. You know, the jet skis are a little unique to us, and that's been a big draw for a lot of people. You know, but again, back to the original theory of, you know, get them out there safely. We offer training for all of our members. We want them to be out there doing it responsibly, doing it the right way. And you know, that also brings the barrier to entry down. For a lot of people who are nervous to go out and buy a boat. They don't know how to trailer it. They don't know, you know, channel markers. They don't know anything, you know. So we're really trying to bridge that gap for you know, somebody who's never been in the sport or maybe has been out for a little while, you know, ease the transition out there and really make them comfortable on the water.
Completely hassle-free. Travis, what about qualifications? Do people renting your boats need to have licenses?
It all depends on what state you're in. So in Florida, if you're born after 1988, you do have to have a boating license. If you're born before, we still require it out of our members. Within 90 days, they have to get a boating license. And they all have to go through our training course. It's an on-water course, happens right here at the docks. Super easy. We have a licensed captain that shows them how to dock the boat, navigational pathways, all that good stuff.
Tell us more about that.
All right, so basically, we even get them out on the jet skis. They learn how to rewrite a jet ski. When a jet ski flips over, they learn how to flip it back. You know, where all the safety items are on the boat, life jackets, when to use them, who needs them, just basically all the rules and regulations of the road, and just to be out there having the safest, best time possible, because you can't really have fun if you aren't, being safe while you're doing it.
Absolutely. How long does it take, Ryan, to pass a course?
So the online course that we recommend for all of our members can take 5 to 6 hours. You can do it in the comfort of your home. Our on-water training usually takes between 2 to 3 hours depending on your skill level, but we do offer follow-up courses if you're still a little uncomfortable with docking or anchoring or whatever it may be.
Most interesting. And I understand that one of your next steps is to actually acquire a 110,000-ton cruise ship as well.
3 of them. We'll be offering a membership for 3 cruise ships.
Going back to the previous subject, I'd like you to tell us more about these actual beautiful boats right here.
Yeah, so we have boats ranging from center consoles, bow riders, wake style boats, pontoon boats. We have jet skis. These boats here, they range from 19 to 22 foot. They're great boats for everybody. Any family can jump on them. Fishing, going out tubing, all that fun stuff. You can pretty much do everything on the water with these boats.
This is such a beautiful location and the boats are lovely. Tell us about this particular location and your others.
So right now we're at Harborside Place in Jupiter, right here on the Intercoastal, just a couple miles from the inlet, and all the popular restaurants, sandbars, a lot of very nice boating in this area. We do also have locations in Martin County at the Twisted Tuna. We also have downtown West Palm Beach, Lantana, as well as Pompano. So we really have covered the big part of Palm Beach County. And we did also open this year in Chicago and Syracuse, New York. And we've identified several markets that we plan to open within the next 12 months.
This is really all very interesting, and I think a no-brainer for most people who would just love to have the option of going out for weekends with their families. So tell us more about the technology and more about the locations.
Yeah, so basically every member can use any of our locations. They can go up to Chicago, unlock a boat with their phone, go out for as long as they want, come back and walk away. They can come down and use in any of our locations in South Florida. So you got full reciprocity between the locations, and our members really utilize it. Like winter time up in Chicago, we got members that are down here utilizing the boats for a month straight every day. It's super cool. So technology wise, every boat has GPS trackers in it. You walk up to them, unlock them with your phone, it activates the boat goes out, it's tracking exact fuel, location, depth, all that good stuff. So we collect all that data for safety and all that good stuff.
All about peace of mind. Well, this has been a real great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be right back. This brings us to the end of our special show for today. I'm Richard Peritz. Thank you for being with us.